Scientists are considering a new approach when it comes to vaccinations. A growing number of experts are looking into the potential benefits of giving doses from different manufacturers. They say it could help trigger a strong immune response to the virus, but more research is needed. If vaccine supply runs low, health officials could adopt a mix and match strategy to address the problem. Joining us now with more is Dr. Joe Gastaldo. He is an infectious disease expert with over 20 years of experience in the field. Doctor, thanks for joining Prime tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So we want to start with a statement from an immunology professor from the London School of Medicine in an interview with NPR. And she said, quote, "So there's a practical reason why you would want to mix two different types of vaccine, but there's also a scientific reason as well. If you give two different types of vaccine, then you tend to get a better immune response than if you give the same vaccine twice." Do you agree with this? And walk us through the science behind it.
Yeah, so again, there could be some validity to that. So again, we have a quote from somebody who does research in a lab. And, when you expose your immune system in different ways to the same potential virus or bacteria, it could potentially lead to a more robust immune response. So again, if that's done in a test tube or in a lab, that needs to be applied to how it actually performs in the real world. And again, I'm not a lab researcher at the bench side. I'm a real world doctor taking care of patients. So again, there's always this constant communication. Sometimes things that happen in the lab don't correlate exactly with the real world experiences. But again, with everything going on related to COVID, we have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
So the California-based vaccine developer Gritstone Bio is now making two different vaccines designed to mobilize two parts of the immune system. How is this different than the approach that Pfizer and Moderna have decided to take with two doses of the same vaccine? Kind of a similar question.
Well, same type of thing. So when you get a vaccine, everybody focuses on the antibody response. That's only one part of the immune system. You actually have another part of the immune system called the T cell response, which really has nothing to do with antibodies. So the whole point about having different types of vaccines and two doses is trying to stimulate both the antibody response or the B cell response and the other part of the immune system, the T cell response, and more importantly, the memory cell response. That's why you need at least two doses of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccine to really get that long-lasting memory response.
So what are the risks and benefits of this different approach, this different structure?
Well, the potential benefits are getting a deeper, longer-lasting stimulation of your immune system. The potential risks are obviously it has to be studied. The vaccine platforms that we have, the messenger RNA vaccines and the adenovirus vector vaccines, J&J and AstraZeneca, they are safe vaccines. Over 130 million mRNA doses have been given with no safety signals. And again, with J&J, we did have some safety signals pop up. So when we do these mix and match studies, we have to be very transparent with people, but tentatively, based on good safety data, there should be really no reason speculatively why it would be a dangerous scenario to mix and match the two types of vaccines that we have.
So I want to switch gears here, and I know this is something you're very passionate about. The Surgeon General of the U.S. pleaded with Americans to get vaccinated yesterday. Here's part of his message.
When you get vaccinated, though, you break that chain of transmission by giving the virus one less place to hide in your community. The only way to get cases to come down and stay down is for everyone to get vaccinated.
So we know the vaccine is effective in preventing serious illness, but it's also true, right, that vaccinated people can still get infected and spread the virus to others.
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. There is real-world data out now that if you are fully vaccinated, you are significantly less likely to spread it, meaning that you're significantly less likely to have asymptomatic infection. It's not 100%. No vaccine is 100%. But if you are vaccinated, clearly you have a great layer of protection from keeping out of the hospital and dying. And there is a collection of real-world data showing that you are significantly less likely to spread it or have asymptomatic infection. Again, we need to study that and be transparent with people. No vaccine is 100%.
Okay, so some states are reporting a stockpile of vaccine doses because of a lack of demand. Are we actually going to be able to reach herd immunity with all of this vaccine hesitancy?
Another fantastic question. It really depends on what you define as a herd. The global herd, no. The global herd is going in the wrong direction with what's happening in India and in South America with their high positivity numbers. So again, in our country, we are very blessed to have 3 safe and effective vaccines. And when you talk about immunity, the better term to use is actually community immunity. And it's kind of a number that we use in science that has a strict meaning. But again, it depends on where the herd lives. And the herd of Chicago or the Midwest, we can get our rates very low dependent upon people getting vaccines. Look, we have a very contagious virus, and this virus is looking for people to infect who do not have immunity and looking for people to infect who have not been vaccinated. Here at my hospital in Columbus, Ohio, every person we have in the hospital with COVID are people who have not been vaccinated.
All right. Well, Dr. Castaldo, we appreciate your time as always. We know it's a busy time for you. Thank you for joining Prime.
Thank you for having me.